3 under for the day, 16 under for the tournament, leading by 3.
That's what I was saying about the fluky wind. That breeze seemed to get up as he played the shot.
Senior at the 9th.
We can see with the change in the breeze, going only with 6 iron today, but this is going on the breeze and turning over towards the left. Oh, that's in behind that trap, and he's got no green to work with.
Awkward spot for Peter Senior at 9.
Remember, Jose Maria Olazabal hooked his tee shot way into the bushes, chipped out, 3rd shot in flight. So still an outside chance to salvage a par with a good pitch here at the par 5 8th.
Oh no, this is an awkward shot for him, Jack.
Yeah, he hasn't got a lot of room to work with, as Pat said, and the one saving grace, however, is he's pitching back into the breeze, and a lot will depend on what sort of lie he's got. Pat Welsh is with Peter Senior. Is the lie any good, Pat?
Jack, the lie's pretty good. In fact, he was a little fortunate. He actually clipped a spectator. It could have gone a few metres further, where it's very, very ordinary indeed, very messy, very sandy. But no, the lie's good, but as you said, only about 4 or 5 metres of green to work with here, coming all the way across this trap. The only thing in his favour is that he is tossing this into the breeze. Up high, it's gone by, and he'll have that for a par.
That's one of the problems with Kikuyu fairways. Those sort of shots, very difficult to play.
From one short hole to the, or to another, from the 9th to the 7th, and Lucas Parsons second. Up the hill. Oh, well done, Lucas Parsons. He's got a 2 now. He's 4 under par for the day through 7. He's 17 under par for the tournament, and he's 4 shots clear of his nearest rivals.
Now he really has to stay in the President, because he's got a commanding lead, and it's very easy to get in front of yourself and start writing your speeches.
The hand premium light shot. A look again at Lucas Parsons. Chip in at the 7th. Never got anywhere else, Jack, was it?
It was always online. It was travelling, but they're the sort of things you do when it's your week and your day. Let's hope it's Lucas's day.
Well, Lucas Parsons makes a birdie there. Can Andrew Coulthard make a birdie here at 9?
Similar putt to the one that Craig Parry had just a while ago, and you can see from our shot there that there's considerable slope on this green from left of your screen down to the front. So this putt pretty slick. Right to left borrow. Once it gets over the hill, it'll come back to the left. Beautifully judged. Just gave it too much air to the right.
So Coulthard will remain at 13 under. Peter Senior, with whom he's playing, has a putt for par from long range after having missed the green. But before that, Olazabal's 4th at the 8th.
Well, really getting some spin on that's going to suck all the way off the front of the green, and one stage it looked pretty good. Back into the breeze with a lofted club in the upslope of the green. That's why he got all the spin. Senior now to salvage par. He's a couple under for the round. 73 par here. We've said it all week. 36 out, 37 back. This for a par for Senior at 9.
So Senior drops a shot, and he slips back to 12 under par. Now 5 behind Lucas Parsons. David Park made his 3 here at the 7th, so he stayed at 11 under.
So Olasabal here playing his 5th shot. This is bread and butter to him, though. A little bit of an incline to contend with. Well, I think he'd really like to go back and start this hole again.
Start the round again. There's the water, which is very much in play at this hole, the 8th. He's birdied it on 2 occasions, but maybe not with the wind the way it is today.
You can really see how confident he is with his swing at the moment. His timing is beautiful. There's no rush from the top. Good balance.
Jack, take us through the 8th, looking at it from the air, from the helicopter.
Yeah, an elevated tee, which of course subjects you to the elements, particularly 240 to the front of this lake, and 290 something to carry it. But the most important thing is these cross bunkers have been installed, and you've really got to lay up short of them unless you fancy your chances. And a long, narrow gutted green, 30 metres long, and I can tell you the pin today at 8 cut 10 metres on and 4 from the right-hand side. All in all, a very good par 5, which just requires 3 good shots. There's no other alternative, and plenty of trouble if you spray one around. 4.9 it's averaging, and because of the southerly breeze, there is some help here on the tee shots, whereas the northerly, it plays straight into you. So hence the reason we've seen a lot more birdies and a few eagles here today.
David Park has birdied this hole on a couple of occasions. All the par 5s today here are playing under that par. But the average score is 73.6 above the par. It was 71.6 yesterday when the wind was in the north. Good tee shot there from David Park. Seem to be getting on pretty well, these two. Very relaxed.
Probably know one another from the Challenge Tour, Renton, I'd suggest.
Well, that's a birdie at the 11th for Gary Evans after his double bogey at 10.
Ollie for 6 at the 8th. Well, that's the end of his chances. A double bogey 7. And after that great round yesterday where he fired a 7 under par 66, things not going the great Spaniard's way today at the Lakes.
4 over today, Olasabal. He's out of contention. Lucas Parsons leads by 4 from Coulthard, by 5 from Senior, and by 6 from David Park, with whom he shared the lead going into today's round. And on down the list there, Lucas Parsons moving away from the field. Can he keep it together on the back 9 here at the Lakes?
This final round unfolds. Low scoring and not easy. The best completed round, Gary Orr with 67. This is our overnight leader, David Park. Currently at 11 under par, 6 shots shy of our leader, Lucas Parsons.
Up ahead at 10. Second shot from that sandy wasteland area, left of 10. 6 iron. This terrific little short par 4, averaging 4.33 today. Ooh, and that's a good shot from Peter Senior for one horrible moment. I thought he'd knocked it over the back, which is tiger country on 10.
Olasabal will not be a happy camper. Back to 7 under. Played a gem, and there's a big chance for a 2.
Lucas Parsons with his second to the 8th.
Not laying up, Renton. He's going with the metal wood, which would seem a strange play with a lead that he's got.
Oh no, where has that gone? He may be all right. It may look worse than it on screen than it really is.
In the meantime, Andrew Coulthard, second shot to 10. He's closest to Lucas. 4 shots back at 13 under.
Playing very steadily, Andrew Coulthard. Another birdie chance which would move him to 14 under par. And not even breaking sweat. David Park did lay up at the 8th, unlike Lucas Parsons, so this is his 3rd shot. And there's a good view from our high camera of just what David Park has got left here.
Slow, please.
Wonderful shots from our cameraman, high above the action.
This is a bit of a sucker pin, this pin at 8. It's short and right. Judgment's got to be spot on.
I'd say you've made a pretty good job of it, Jack.
That's a beauty.
Peter Senior, the wily old fox of Australian golf. 1 under for the day.
He's 40 years of age, Pete Senior. Been around a long while now. Been one of Australia's great players.
18 victories. And he cannot believe it.
Gee. That ball put out its hand and turns left, didn't it?
Now, Lucas wasn't as bad as we thought, Renton.
Yes, I thought he might be all right where he was. It didn't look too good when we saw the shot from behind as he played it, but he might still make his birdie. He's in very confident mood. Seems to be in total control of his game, his emotions. He's been working on the mental side of the game.
You can see with the pin cut on that side, though, and Lucas missing his 2nd shot out to the right, really left him with a very awkward pitch.
Meanwhile, up ahead at the 10th, Coulthard for a 3. No. Coulthard from Thornhill. It's just south of Glasgow, up in the hills south of Glasgow, and he was playing golf on the golf course there, which was the club started by his grandfather. He was playing on the golf course when he was very young.
29 years of age. 24th last year on the European money list with £1.7 million plus.
He's made his Ryder Cup debut as well as a captain's pick.
When I say 1.7 million, that's his earnings on the European Tour. He won 274,000 plus.
To Olazabal at the 9th. Trying to rewrite the ship.
Sign of a great player, isn't it, though, when you take a double bogey 7 at a par 5 that you'd normally be thinking in terms of birdie. Made 7, got on with the job, stepped up here on the very next hole and hit this wonderful tee shot to there. This for 2.
Yeah, well done. Back to 8 under. But trailing by 9 shots.
8 under means he's 17th, joint 17th, with, among others, Craig Hainline from the United States, from Wichita in Kansas. Now living in Houston. Liang Wei Zhang's at 8 under. Brett Ogle's at 8 under.
Parsons to go to 18 under. Well, it was always left, and it's a funny old game. Bernhard Langer last year led by 5 with 9 to play, and we shut the gate a little too early. Anything can happen.
Well, any time you're leading, Sandy, going into the last round, you're 4 under after 8. You're not going to be far away, are you? And difficult conditions like today, he's saying to them, catch me if you can. David Park failing to get his 4 after a fine third shot.
So he stays joint 4th. And there's Hansen up there at 11 under par, 3 under for the day. Oh, close to the water there.
Craig Parry, there he is. This wonderful shot, isn't it? And this wonderful view of what lies ahead at 11. For many weekenders, that'd be in a state of panic playing this sort of shot, Jack, but not so the professionals.
Still a pretty good crack for Craig Parry to get this over. It is downwind, however. And, well, it's pretty good play, really, because the back trap, he's playing a downhill trap shot, but it's back into the breeze, and his first prerequisite was to get the ball across the water.
Leading amateur, Scott Gardner, from one water carry to another. Here he is at 14. He's 11 under, doing an outstanding job.
Yes, he's just birdied 11, 12, 13, having got through the turn in 35. The amateur side here in Australia really doing some marvellous work in these professional events.
When does it kick in, Jack, for Lucas? He leads by 4. When does he think, my hat, this could be mine?
Oh, around about now.
We'll take a break, come back and see how he handles that pressure. Grey skies above. They're not concerning our leader, Lucas Parsons. He's at 17 under par. He's played the 9th at 1 under. And he leads by 4 with a chance for a 2 at the 9th.
Commercially sound shot there from Big Lucas, who's 30 years of age. Is Craig Parry now downhill, but he's playing it back into the breeze. Third shot at the par 5 11th. And a gem from Parry. A ripper.
Well, he dropped a shot at 5. This is Park at 9. 11 under par. Currently lying 4th. Good shot.
Good chance, 2 for him for a 2. We're in a spot of bother, aren't we, in the Davis Cup? Can the reverse singles players extricate us from a rather nasty position down 1-2 against a bit of a makeshift Swiss team? Find out tonight by joining us on 7. Just check your local guides, Switzerland and Australia, to make it through to the next round. Big John Daly is one of many heading to Huntingdale for the Ericsson Masters commencing next week. Gee, that's going to be a great event, with Sergio Garcia making his way to Huntingdale for the first time. The tradition continues.
This is for an eagle. This is Per Ulrich Johansson. He's at the 11th. And this for 12 under. Got through the turn in 35, parred the 10th.
And this is just the sort of putt that can get him fired up on this back 9 if he can make it. Not to be.
Just looking at Adam Scott, it didn't make a good start back to this 9. 6 at the 10th, 8 at the 11th. So 5 shots dropped for Adam Scott at the first 2 holes on the back 9 as Johansson goes for his 4.
Just having a look outside, things are becoming decidedly darker. Let's hope the rain stays away. While the wind has come from the south, it's not been a real southerly buster as we can get here in the summer in Sydney, but or just a southerly breeze.
Here's our leader, Lucas Parsons. leading by 4 and an outside chance at a birdie here at 9. It should be satisfied with a 3, getting a par. And our host missing the cut, Greg Norman, but that has prevented some big galleries today. Great to see.
Played a very good front 9, Sandy, with birdies right out of the chute at 1, 2, 4, 7. So he's got this putt to be out in 4 under par 32. Excellent front 9 from Lucas, who now has got to play a solid 9 holes of golf, and the trophy will be his. He's never won anything this big before.
This our leading amateur, Scott Gardner, and he's got this putt for an eagle to move to 13 under. He's having a magnificent week.
He's a good kid, Sandy. He come through my junior golf foundation. He lives at Tweed Heads, and sometimes people like Ian Baker Finch will claim him as a Queenslander, but I can assure you he's a blue boy.
Yes, thank you, Jack. Back to David Park. This is for birdie, and he gets it. He hangs on. Gets him back to 12 under and a share of 3rd spot.
Quite a battle going on for 2nd and 3rd prizes here at the present moment, with Parsons at 17 under, but this is Peter Senior. 3rd shot didn't go for it over the water, but looking to get down in 2 from here for a birdie.
He had no choice, Renton. His drive just trickled in the first cut of rough, so playing the safe way. Good course management. That's an 8 iron, and up beside the pin, give him a shot at a birdie.
A few moments ago, Scotland's Andrew Coulthard played his 2nd shot.
Centre of the fairway for Coulthard. 228 metres, 205 to carry. This is right at the heart of the green, looking very good from back here in the fairway. That's perfect.
Roger Davis at the 18th. This is for a birdie. To be Roger Davis currently 6 under, even par for the day, playing with Retief Hurston, who's 8 under, 2 under for the day. Good 70 today from Roger Wessels from South Africa. He's at 9 under. And Davis for his par.
Still a pretty good week for Roger. He's had a few hamstring problems. It's a round of 73 and he finishes at 6 under as we take in our latest Holden update.
This update proudly brought to you by Holden.
And let's go back to earlier in the day. An extraordinary recovery shot from Stuart Appleby. A good round by him today. A 5 under par round of 68. He can't believe it. Played Stuart. Aaron Badley also out of the sand, and also at 18. He's played a gem, making sure of a rock solid par. Olafable, his tee shot at the first. He was a little scrappy early on. Craig Parry, a master at the short game, his 3rd shot at the 2nd. And at this stage, we were wondering who was going to leap out and try and grab this tournament by the scruff of the neck and go away with it. Would it be Andrew Coulthard? Would it be Lucas Parsons? Here he is, Lucas. 2nd of the 1st. And now moving to the 4th, his 2nd there. Picking up shots early. And opening up a handy lead, much to the delight of his fans. I'm sure a few would have made the trip from Orange to see him today. Peter Senior playing his 2nd to the 4th. The wily old senior, always around, the cunning old fox. He won't go away. Andrew Coulthard. His second, also to 4. Another gem. Peter Senior on the tee at the 7th. This par 3 of 143 metres. The look saying he likes it. Who can blame him? What a shot. Give us a smile, Pete. Lucas Parsons. As if to say, you won't get me. Well, they might, and we'll just have to see.
This update proudly brought to you by Holden.
And let's have a look at our leaders board as we head to a break. Lucas Parsons leading by 4. He's got 9 to play. This, they say, is when it all starts. So will Coulthard catch him? Will Senior catch him? We're going to take a break and then come back for what should be an absorbing finish to this year's event. Enjoying our coverage of this final day of the Greg Norman Holden International as much as we are. Light rain starting to fall outside just to add to the equation, Ian. But our leaders and our final pair are coming to the 63rd hole of the championship. Many say that's when it begins. Let's have a look at the holes to watch, the key holes on this final 9. And as far as you're concerned, it starts at the 10th.
It certainly does, Sandy. One of the best holes in Australian golf, this short par 4. Only 323 metres. But hazard and long grass all the way up the right-hand side. Out of bounds, the practice fairway there on the left, and a large sand dune with lots of native grasses growing around there. Bunker on the left there is what the players need to avoid, and then they turn the corner. Today, 5 iron or so into the green. It's a pretty stiff breeze out of the right and against the players.
Some holes have some history, albeit either famous or infamous. I think 14 here has a little bit of both.
It certainly does. Today playing a little more difficult with the left to right breeze from the south, but this is the hole where Greg Norman a few years back made an 11, and it's certainly able to happen as you turn the corner of the dogleg here and fire your second shot across the water. Narrow green, lots of deep bunkers there today. Can be a 3-shotter. A lot of players laying up.
Lucas leads at the moment, but let's remember, with 9 to play last year, Bernhard Langer led by 5. 16 is a key hole. It's a tough hole.
There's been a lot of crashes on the back 9 at the Lake, Sandy, and this hole coming towards the end of the round. It's a tough par 4. It's only 388 metres, but back into the breeze today, averaging about 4.4. There's only been 1 birdie. And you can see there, second shot across the lake. Deep bunker guarding the green there, pin in the front centre of the green.
Sets up a wonderful finish, doesn't it? After 17, we've got the last, which interestingly enough, here at the Lakes is a par 3 of 178 metres and a lot of sand.
Yeah, you don't often finish with a par 3, but some beautiful exposed natural areas there up to the green. Deep bunkers surrounding a huge green, but only 178 metres, a tough green to hit.
So there are some to watch, and you mentioned one. It's your favourite hole. It's the 10th, and here we are with our leader playing his second.
Yes, he laid well back from the tee. Good wise play. And a good safe second shot. A little lucky, in fact, to probably miss that bunker on the front right. But a good opportunity to save his par, and that's one of the tough holes gone.
Coulthard for birdie here could become a serious challenger. If he can get this to 14 under. Speed only.
Firm, exactly, yeah, too firm. And that's sometimes what happens when, as you said, they're trying to make something happen. They're trying to make a birdie for something. Now, this young player is playing unbelievably well. Scott Gardner from the bunker at 15.
Brought to you via Sandcam, our leading amateur. And, well, don't discount him. He could do what several other amateurs have done this summer.
Exactly right. Eagle at the 17th as well. Don't count that one out.
Peter Senior. Still there. Remains at 12 under. Lucas, what's he got to? He's got to come up over that little fringe.
Yeah, may just have to start it through there. Makes it hard to choose the right speed as it breaks down towards the hole. And, well, nearly a couple of metres, bit of work left to do there.
That is a testing putt, and Coulthard may rue this miss here. Missing his birdie opportunity, but getting his par. So he remains at 13 under. David Park.
Sliding by, just can't seem to quite get it happening. Fantastic 65 in the second round. Handled the pressure well yesterday, but didn't quite play as well as we'd seen the day before. Hanging in there, though. Big putt here, Sandy.
Yeah, Scott Gardner for par to remain at 12 under, to remain in the hunt.
Doesn't mess around.
No, but it's a drop shot for Scott. So he goes back to 4 under for the day. Still an excellent round, but you talk about big putts, probably none bigger than this at this very time in the championship. Lucas for par. Well, he's making it look easy.
Yeah, last 2 holes, he's really poured them in nicely, hasn't he? 17 under, 4 under, front 9. And he's through one of the tough holes. He's through the 10th. Just a couple of disaster holes still to come, though. It's not over yet. They walk from the 10th green to the 11th tee, down beyond the practice fairway, about 100 metres or so to think about his next tee shot.
We're with Peter Senior. You call them disaster holes. Which of the remaining holes would you least like to have to play?
Well, this hole here is a tough hole, very narrow drive.
Right.
And although there's no water on this hole, like 14, 16, 17, it's still easy to make a double bogey.
Well, this hole the last couple of days, the 12th has really had teeth. I've actually seen players hit 3-wood in here for the second, so a lot different in this southerly. Senior with 148, Coulthard with 142, and they're coming in with 8 irons. So that's how much the breeze has changed this hole, and that's something in Lucas's favour, because this one has taken prisoners over the last couple of days. Today, if you can get your drive away, it's a lot friendlier proposition. Senior 8 iron 148. Pin tucked right. This one heading for the centre of the green. Stay on. That's okay.
Now to the 11th. This par 5, 528 metres. David Park. He really winds it up.
And if he gets a good lie there in the rough, that's the right side of the fairway to be on. Straight shot to the flag, can reach easily.
While on 12, Andrew Coulthard, second shot.
142 with an 8 iron, and this is right at it. Look at this. Another birdie chance. He's got to convert one shortly.
He does, Patrick, otherwise he's going to run out of holes as we go back down on 11, and our leader, Lucas Parsons.
He's got this going. Oh, not a good drive. He's turned it over. Would you believe it's going straight for the commentary box? And it's finished up okay, because all he has to do here is play up. He's played very well today, though. Boy, he's got it under control.
Righto, Lindsay, I can see you down there. You keep an eye on that ball, and Ian will have an eye on this 11th as he takes a ride over it.
And it's a very good par 5, 528 metres, very reachable today with the wind straight down on the second shot. They started out over that bunker on the right, about 220 metres to carry it. Down into this area, about 300 metres or so from the tee is the average. And then they fire across the edge of the lake there with their second. From where Lucas is, though, he'll lay up in this area, leaving a 4 wedge or 9 iron for his third. Hole location today, 11 metres on and 8 from the left. Steep little bank there, you don't want to be long. Very, very tough shot from the left and long. And as you can see, 1 eagle already today, Sandy, and 30 birdies. So it's averaging under its par, 4.9.
Yes, all the par 5s at the moment are averaging under their par. 30 birdies, 8 bogeys, 5 we won't mention. And just the 1 eagle. Peter Senior stalking. Andrew Coulthard deciding. I was talking to Jack about how the leader feels at this stage of a tournament, Ian. 8 or 9 to play. You're leading by 3 or 4. I mean, when does the penny actually drop? Heck, I'm ahead. Maybe this is going to be mine.
Well, when you've got such a big lead like Lucas does and he's on cruise control, I think as long as his loose shots are in the right places, and he'll probably steer maybe a 3-wood or an iron down 12 to get it in position. Again at 13, 14, he may not go for it in 2. You know, he'll just be a little cautious on certain holes. But I think he's in control of his game, and I think he's feeling pretty relaxed and confident at the moment.
Certainly looks relaxed and cool and calm. And I guess in one way the pressure is on those players behind him because they're playing catch-up golf.
Yeah, it's a different sort of pressure, but pressure it is, certainly. They need to make birdies, and they know that Lucas is playing well. He's at 17 under par. Pete Senior's at 12 under. He's thinking about, instead of being able to just lag this one up and make his par, he knows he's got to make 3 or 4 birdies in the next 5 holes to sort of give a little bit of a chase.
Oh, try that on for a little bit of a chase. That is a monster putt from Peter Senior. He is at 13 under par, and he's one of the great fighters in the game. Don't worry about that. Gee. I think that's worth another look, courtesy of Hahn Premium Light, because this is a wonderful putt, Ian.
Yes, and we've seen many, many times before over the years, Pete Senior from that 30 to 40 foot range, he wheels that long putter with monotonous regularity, holding those putts.
The magic wand. Well, he could be the man.
Yes, with 2 very reachable par 5s coming up at 14 and 17, being ahead of the leader is certainly an advantage for these 2 players as Coulthard goes for his birdie as well. And
well, he's had 2 opportunities now in the last 2 holes that really he should have taken if he's going to win this championship.
And it may just be the thing that stops Coulthard from winning more regularly, because he certainly has a good swing. He seems to have a pretty level head on his shoulders. Well, both players now go to the 13th tee at 13 under par.
Anders Hansen is on 15, has this par-saving putt. He misses. In fact, that will be a 3 putt for Anders. Disappointing for him as he drops back to 11 under. But still having a good round today. He's 3 under for the day, and anything 70 or under is good scoring here in this final round.
Back at the 11th.
Lucas has got a pretty good lie here, considering he's obviously in the rough. And the beauty of this is he's obviously just has to lay up here, just tossing and turning. He's got 190 to that bunker that you can see down the fairway here. It's got 8 iron now.
Yeah, he doesn't need to hit it too far because the best angle in is from further back short of that bunker.
I think you've got to play this hole way back when you get in trouble here, Ian. Gives you a much better chance at the flag. Yeah, he's done that. That's fine.
That's good, because we saw Lucas on this hole yesterday play a bad layup shot into the bunker. So wise decision there today.
Let's move ahead to 13. Per Ulrik Johansson of Sweden playing his 2nd shot. He's at 11 under par.
And this hole playing a little tougher today too, because it's back into the breeze. You see players get a lot of spin on their approach shots in here, and that's a beauty from Johansson. Very tasty.
Now Peter Senior, tee shot at 13, coming off that monster putt. He's at 13 under par.
And to coin a phrase of Jack Newton's, right in the mayor's office at the 13th.
Here we are, back at 11. David Park. Wonderful shot of what lies ahead for the Welshman.
Interesting enough, he laid up as well. I thought he'd have a crack at it from there, but he's laid it up pretty well and ideal position. But, he was in go zone, I felt.
Yeah, a lot depends on the lie there, and You know, maybe 3 wood was too much for him and he didn't like the long iron from the kikuyu grass on the right, so a wise decision if you're feeling indecisive.
Lindsay Stephen following our final pairing, and Lucas Parsons continues to show the way. He leads by 4. It may sound a big lead, but in this course, in these conditions, and at the closing stages of a tournament, anything can happen.
Well, look at what happened to Bernhard Langer last year.
I don't think you want you to remind any of us of it, but yes, a dramatic finish. Will we have the same again this year? Well, I hope you can stay with us as we come through to the concluding stages of the Greg Norman Holden International, coming to you live on 7 from the Lakes. Welcome back. Here we are with our leader, Lucas Parsons. Third shot to 11. He is 17 under par. Oh, and he's played a ripper. He's cool as a cucumber at the moment, Jack.
Yeah, you've just got to keep disasters off his card, and if he makes a bad swing or hits a bad shot, it's got to whir on the right side, on the correct side, rather than the danger side.
Johansson, and he picks up a shot. He moves to 12 under, 3 under for the day.
Back at the 11th, David Park playing his third, also after, well, a wise layup. He didn't have a good lie.
He's played the idea layup here, and he's only got a little 70-metre pitch shot, sand iron.
Landed just left of the hole and then it spinned down and to the right.
Little strong. Yeah, not real good from there, really.
Brett Ogle, who's having a good tournament. He's currently 8 under par. This to go 9, and he's got it.
Good to see that big stick starting to work again for Brett.
Back at the 13th, Andrew Coulthard over the trees. Well, that's 3 in a row. Pretty good iron shots, close, but he needs to make the putts.
Brett Ogle just quickly having an unbelievable run. He's just birdied 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, dropped a stroke at 14, downwind par 5, then birdied 15 and 17. Not a bad little run for Bugle.
Back to our final pair in just a moment. Let's go to Grant Dodd, because he's having a few problems via sand cam. He's already left it in the sand once.
Oh, that's a beauty. He's just coming off a couple of bogeys, though, Dotty, so he won't be too happy. 1 over par for his round.
Let's go to 11 once more. Mrs. Park and Parsons.
Character building couple of days for this young Welshman. Remember, he's only 25 and just on first full year on the circuit, having played the Challenge Tour, which is the secondary tour in Europe, and got his card via that, so not a lot of experience under the belt. And these last couple of days have been days where he hasn't perhaps hit the ball as well as he'd like, but in the life of a professional golfer, you never play perfectly every day. And the key to being successful is turning something out of nothing. In other words, the days you don't play well, you still post a score.
He's played the par 5s, 9 under.
Right from the opening tee shot, which he speared up into the trees on the right, he's been unsettled.
Let's move ahead to 17. Scott Gardner, our leading amateur, playing his second shot. He's 11 under par.
Going with the long iron, using the breeze. Oh, boy, this boy is playing some great golf. 19-year-old from northern New South Wales up at Tweed Heads.
Lucas Parsons continues on his way. He now leads by 5, and he's got it to 18, and there is a smile from Lucas.
Yeah, big left to right putt. That was a bit of a bonus, really, to I'm sure even Lucas wasn't expecting to get that one in.
Gee. That will just make David Park think a little more about this putt, because all of a sudden at the moment he's down by 6.
Yeah, in trotting parlance, Sandy, he's 3 out without a trail.
No problems for Park, but the story is with his partner Parsons. He is 18 under as we go to Peter Senior, who has this outside chance of getting it to 14 under. But he likes these. We know that.
Similar length to the one at the last hole. Well, he's been close on the ones that haven't gone in, like at 10, long-range putt.
Brad Ogle, tee shot at 18, averaging 3.2 and just 4 birdies today. Ogle 2 under for the round, 9 under for the tournament. Good effort. And an outside chance at a 2. Playing with Philip Price, who's 3 under for the round and 10 under for the tournament. So they're having their own personal battle.
Andrew Coulthard. An opportunity for him to get it to 14 under. But he hasn't been able to grasp a number of opportunities in recent holes. You get the feeling that Lucas is just starting to nail a few and put them beyond reach. Grant Dodd.
Unfortunately, for a bogey 4 at the 15th, this is for his 3rd bogey in succession. Still, try and make par at 16, birdie chance at 17. Every shot counts a little.
Going with the 3 medal here at this par 4 12th, 389 metres straight up the hill. Breeze helping today. Not playing anywhere near it as long as it played over the first 3 days, with the nor'easter into the players' faces here. Just wants to get this in play. Big trouble off to the right. And, well, it's in the rough, but not too bad. I think he'll be able to get a swing. Not in the tea tree bush.
Back to the 17th. Scott Gardner's long putt back down over the ridge.
Scott's a regular member of the Australian amateur team, and has some Aboriginal heritage as well.
David Park teeing off at the 12th as well.
Beautiful drive, straight up the middle of the fairway. Great drive. Lucas is okay, I think, on the left-hand side here.
Yes, Parsons there with a 5-shot lead. Just has to stay in the present, as he said himself this morning. Is his caddy, Mark Williams. Has won here before, previously with Roger Mackay at the Australian PGA in 1987.
There are the big 5. Lucas showing the way. He leads by 5. Things really did open up for him last year on the Challenge Tour with several victories. Now he's ready to take the next step. He's looking at his biggest win in Australia. He's won the Victorian Open, the Queensland Open, the New Zealand Open. He wants the big one. Brett Ogle, and wouldn't it be nice if he could finish at 10 under? Looking for a 2 at 18, this par 3 finishing hole. Well, but I would imagine he'd be very pleased with that week, Jack.
Yeah, good week for Brett. He's getting better each week. 73, 71, 68, 71. That's very good scoring for Brett, who, as we all know, has been off the scene for a couple of years, just on his way back.
Pete Senior now at the par 5 14th with the driver. And this is one of those disaster holes. I know a lot of players can make birdies and eagles here, but you can also make a 7 or an 8 in a heartbeat.
And right where he's put that tee shot is where you get into the grey area.
Park up the hill at the 12th.
Magnificent shot from David Park.
Scott Gardner, chance to get back to 12 under. But he just seems to be rushing it a little now, and he's just got to step back and take it easy, like our leader Lucas Parsons.
Well, a conservative shot there from Lucas, coming from the rough. Over the back is dead here, so I think that was a wise decision.
Is there a tendency to perhaps play a little conservative when you're leading by this many, as we watch Coulthard at 14?
Yeah, well, it can be a problem if you start counting your chickens in anything, and especially in this game of golf. Coulthard smacks his tee shot down 14, and that's over in Peter Senior territory. So both of those golf balls, dependent upon the lie, will be in the go zone, but you'll need to get all of it.
Gardner's tee shot, long iron back into the breeze, and I think the wind's just hit it. Oh, and that's what happens here. It drifts on the wind, and then what it's done now is it's plugged in the opposite bank. So now he's on a severe downslope.
One tough shot.
Oh boy. We saw Stuart Appleby earlier, but he was plugged in the upslope. It's not such a severe shot, but that one's tough. Anywhere on the green would be a good shot from there. Now this is Per Ulrik Johansson. He's at the par 5 14th.
And he's pondering his 4th shot. He's been the form putter really of the leading players in the past couple of days. He's played the par 5s pretty well too. Coming into today, 10 under on the par 5s. Did drop a shot on the 2nd today, but got it back on 11.
Has yet to make a start on the European Tour money list. So a good finish this week would be a good start to the season. The 31-year-old Swede. 2-time Ryder Cup player. Good player.
You can't see it on your screen. It looks quite flat, but from the left edge of your screen, there's quite a slope down off that bunker on the right. So this part of Lucas's will break from his right to left. And that's a good lead.
Johansson incidentally did tap in for his par, Ian, so he remains at 12 under.
And those players at 12 and 13 under need to do something quickly if they're going to apply any pressure at all to Lucas Parsons.
Now, how's this young man going to handle this situation, Jack?
This is nearly an impossible shot to stop. And that's about as good as he could have done. There's no other way he could have played that, as Ian said, off the downslope and being buried. He wasn't able to get the ball up and get any spin on it, so it was going to come out low and hot. And he played really a pretty good shot to get it on the green at all.
Well, he needs this one, Sandy.
Yes, time and holes are running out.
Pretty slick putt this, though, down the slope, left to right borrow. Well, I would think most of the players still thinking that they've got some chance. A couple of par fives, 14 and 17, which are not impossible to make an eagle. So Lucas Parsons is not home and hosed yet. But I think I'd put my cash on him.
I was going to say, the way he's playing, he might have something in store on those holes for them as well. So that is a par for David Park, and he remains at 12 under and 1 over for the day.
Well, there's been 5 eagles already on the back 9 today, so it's a big ask to ask one of those final 2 or 3 groups to make 1 or 2. But as Jack said, they are out there. You just got to find them.
Parsons then for par. He's been steady as a rock. Hasn't really looked like missing.
Gee, he's putted well over the last couple of days. He's looked rock solid and made some very, well, putts that you don't normally expect to make unless you're going to win the golf tournament.
Just 26 putts yesterday certainly got him in the zone.
Ahead to the 14th. And Andrew Coulthard in that grey area.
Yes, and in this case, Ian, the grey area measures 218 metres. He's got to hit this 3-wood very well. Now, this is drifting towards that left-hand trap. Yes, into the left-hand trap. It's a pretty good 3-wood from over here today.
It's not a bad leave, though, in that bunker because you've got quite a bit of green to work with.
Scott Gardner came out of the trap and did it very well, and now he's playing his 3rd shot. Good effort from the amateur. He's our leading amateur. A great moment for him.
Back at the 13th, par 4 down the hill. Holden. Been a tough day for him. This is for a birdie 3. Sort of tells the story a bit about his day. A couple of wayward tee shots and just can't seem to get it going. 4 over par for the dual Masters champion.
Perhaps a little underdone, Ian, I think, this early in the season. Not played too much golf as we watch a very important shot in terms of this championship. Peter Senior across the water here at the par 5 14th.
213 metres, Jack, with the 3-wood. A little bit of luck. It just stayed on the fairway, and this looks fantastic. This looks to be right at it from back here in the fairway. Oh, that's fabulous. Chance of an eagle for Peter Senior.
Chance to get it to 15 under.
Scott Gardner for bogey. And not only leading amateur, but leading player in the clubhouse, tied with Gary Orr.
Lucas Parsons, 13, this short par 4, 310 metres, elevated tee, just looking for some position, and he's got it. There's water off to the right. Excellent layout from Lucas.
Last year, Lucas finished tied for 15th in the Greg Norman Holden International. He won't want a similar pat to last year because he then missed the cut at the Ericsson Masters And missed the cut at the Cannon Challenge. I think things are going to be very different this year. Coulthard of Scotland playing his third shot to the 14th. Par 5, outside chance at a birdie, but Ian probably in reality would have been hoping to get a little closer.
Oh yeah, definitely. He'll be disappointed with that. Back a hole to 13.
Yeah, this is a big play here. That's 8 iron from 134, but this pin is really cutely tucked on the right-hand side. I think he's got to go hard at the green, which he has. Sensible play. And of course, if Lucis wins this time, and he gets another 2-year exemption plus this year's exemption on the European Tour, it's fantastic for him.
Now Pete Senior, he holed one from this range for a birdie at the 12th. Boy, he's putted well today. He really has.
So he moves to outright second at 14 under par, and we go to 14 with Jose Maria Olazabal. Out of it now at 7 under.
I've seen him hit a few of those today. Seen him hit a few wayward ones as well.
No.
Here's Johansson. He's in a similar spot yesterday and wasn't a happy camper at all. Let's see what he can do this time on 15. I don't think he'll be too pleased with that either.
This for birdie. And Coulthard, gee, the last 4 holes, 11, 12, 13, 14, chances on all of them.
Putter's gone cold, hasn't it?
Certainly has. Maybe trying a little bit too hard. Sometimes you just don't free up.
Per Ulrich Johansson at the 15th. His third shot, and he's not a happy camper. Don't know what they say in Swedish, but wouldn't be the best of times to ask him for his autograph.
Now this is David Park.
104 metres. He's got a wedge, and he's played pretty aggressive shot here, going up to the back of the green. It looks like he's got to come down the back and screw back if he gets lucky.
Here it comes.
He's got lucky, all right.
Great shot. Anders Hansen for par. Came out of the bunker to there, and that's an all-round good putt for Anders Hansen.
Round of 70, and he finishes at 11 under.
Craig Parry, left to right birdie putt at the par 3 15th. It's on the low side. Parry 1 over for the round. 9 under for the tournament.
On 13, Lucas Parsons. Can he stretch this lead by another stroke?
He's doing all the right things. He's putting his golf ball in the right place on the greens and on the fairways, so he can do as he just did there. Rock solid 4. He doesn't need any heroics. He just needs to get in the clubhouse 1 shot better than anyone else.
David Park is due for a birdie. Big opportunity here after that ball spun back and come on down.
Same routine every time. Just a little right to left here. Too much speed. He too, like Coulthard, just trying a bit too hard to catch up those shots. It's hard when you're 5 or 6 behind. You know you've got to make them.
15 to Peter Senior. We were looking at Johansson. He did drop a shot after those little dramas that he had.
Solid 6 iron with the breeze assisting today, and this looks to be right at it as well. Sit down. Over the back is problems. That's okay. It hasn't gone all the way through, but it would have looked great from back from where he was.
It's a par for Park, 13. I think a few of those blokes at the back of 15 might have just jumped in front of that ball if it looked like going into the water there. To see Pete Senior take this tournament out.
Coulthard will be the next to go. Here he is with Peter Senior.
6 iron for Coulthard as well. This one out to the right. Let's see if it feeds down. It's not feeding down. It's going to stay back right.
Yeah, really, to get the ball close to 15, you've got to pitch the ball in the front third of the green. Anything up near the flag will go to the back or over the green.
5 to play. Lucas in control. And the 40-year-old, his nearest rival. Peter Senior giving chase. Can he get him? Some exciting holes to come, some exciting golf to come. And you'll see it here, right here on 7. Here we are at the 14th, this vital par 5 with our leader, Lucas Parsons. Leading by 4.
It's going high and right on the breeze, and it's going to hit someone if they're not careful. And
Careful.
It's not too bad. He has to lay up from there, though.
From the bunker at 14, Olazabal just short in 2. And a birdie opportunity there for Ollie to jump up the leaderboard a little bit.
We saw Peter Senior's tee shot at 15, the par 3, just trickle over the back. The sandwich down again. Look out! He's made it. Well,
Not over yet, Jack. Not over yet.
and when Pete gets pumped up, anything can happen.
Now, can he convert? Yes, finally. Still 3 over par.
Let's have a look at that again from Peter Senior. It's a Hahn premium light shot. But just when you thought it was safe to announce that Lucas could be home and hosed, this happens, Jack.
Brilliant shot. Really in quite thickish rough there off the back. And he had to play the flop shot with the sandwich from short range. Never an easy shot to judge. And beautiful shot for a 2 at 15, which hasn't given up too many birdies today at all.
Now this is Coulthard. He has a little bit of work to do left for his par 3 at the 15th, playing alongside Peter Senior. Taking a good amount of time to be sure. I've seen a lot of people miss this on our side of the hole. Straight in.
This is Johansson, 16, playing his second shot, back now to 11 under after a 4 on 15. Played a beauty.
Boy, that's a pure shot there from the Swede.
But Lucas's lead has been cut. Let's remember this. Senior now is at 15 under par. And Lindsay, you're with Lucas and his ball.
Yeah, it's not a bad lie, actually, Sandy, but obviously he's just got to lay up here, then go at the hole further down the fairway, which is a sensible play. Probably a good thing about what's happened to him in the last 2 par 5s is he has to lay up and keep himself out of any sort of dramas. Still make birdies, obviously, going this way, but it's interesting watching Lucas play the last 2 days because he's definitely made a swing change. Just been talking to Barry Bent, his coach. He used to get a little bit way on the outside on the backswing and obviously lose a lot of shots right because of it. Now he's got it going back on line and the ball's coming out much straighter. Now, of course, this is a big part of his journey here. Last few holes of a major championship. If he wins this, he gets fantastic exemptions and sponsorships and so forth. So let's just hope he hangs on the next 3 or 4 holes. Just a little 8-iron. No problem. A little right though, but I think it'll be okay there.
Concerned look from him, Lindsay.
Well, his pressure's mounting, of course, but I think he's okay there.
Okay, thanks, Linz. A few raindrops appearing as we go to 15, and Olafable.
And Olafable's playing alongside Wayne Smith, and we saw a ball there next to the pin, so Wayne Smith's knocked one close there.
Wayne's a couple over for the day.
Yes, the momentum hasn't been going in the right direction for this group. And as Jack said earlier, the key to this hole is to try and land the ball just short of the hole in the front quarter of the...
And Ian, Wayne Smith has made 2 7s today, 7 at the third, which we saw him do, and also another 7 at 11. And those walking sticks are never good on your scorecard. This was moments ago at 15. And that's what I was saying earlier. You've got to pitch the ball in that front third of the green and let it chase on up. And that's a magnificent shot from Wayne Smith. So really, for someone who's made 2 7s, he's done pretty well to be only 2 over par.
Here's the big challenger, Peter Senior, at 16.
3 woods all he needs from the tee. Thread it between the 2 bunkers.
Ooh.
And that's going to be a tough stance for Peter Senior on the 16th.
Masters next week, and following that, the Amy Women's Australian Open. Kari Webb has made a lightning start. She's going to be back at Yarra Yarra, and so too some of the best golfers in the world. That's February 17 through until the 20th. Just check your local guides though for the Women's Australian Open.
That was Andrew Coulthard's tee shot. Also, same decision, 3 wood from the tee. Keep it short of the bunkers, and that is ideal position.
Pierre Ulrich Johansson after that wonderful second shot at 16. Now, can he capitalise on it by making the putt for 3? And he can. Takes him to 3 under for the round, 12 under for the tournament.
Now back to the par 5, 14th. This is David Park. Playing his 3rd shot. It's laid well back.
It's in a pretty good position for the hole, for the shot at the flag here, Ian, and really only 150 metres. He's got 7-iron.
Oh, here.
And that's the shot that he faces over those 2 bunkers, over the water, but with just a 6 or 7 iron. Didn't call for this somewhere within 15 feet or so. He'd be expecting a birdie putt. Good shot. Played that nicely. Boy, the breeze hasn't got up like we thought it would. It's quite kind out there at the moment, considering how it can get, Jack.
It is.
Plus
quite hear what they're saying, but it's almost perfect conditions out there now. Suddenly's dropped right away, and apart from a few spots of rain, I always reckon playing on a cloudy day like this was good to play golf, because without any sun and shadows, it's much easier to get the depth perception of your shots.
Back to Lucas in a moment. In the meantime, Andrew Coulthard going to play his second to 16 in outright third spot.
I said, hitting a 4-iron there, just finding the right-hand bunker. Hasn't made a bogey today, but just hasn't got the putts in when he's needed them for birdies. Just 2 birdies in his round.
First prize this week, $360,000. Nice way to start the year, really.
And Lucas has come up with a really good lie here. A little 8-iron from 144. Breeze is abating a little bit. He's got this going left. This is not a good shot. Might get the trap, short of the trap.
He's
a little bit of pressure building here.
He's flirting, Linz.
Now this is a big shot. Uneven stance, having to go across water. This is his second at 16.
Yeah, terrible stance here, and he checked it a lot of times with foot in and out of the bunker. He's going with 4-iron, and this looks to be going front right. Just misses the trap. That's okay. Up and down for par.
Ollie at 15, playing from the left-hand trap.
Olé, senor.
Olé, senor. We agree. Famous bridge at the Lakes. Championship leader walking across there. I wonder what's going through his mind.
Well, he might have another stroll that he'll enjoy even more coming up pretty soon if he can keep everything together as he comes up 18 or the 72nd hole of this championship. He leads by 3. Peter Senior is his nearest rival. The question is, can he be caught? Stay with us and find out here on 7.
Well, the Tharbel for par at 15.
Now, can you find a bit of magic here with the chipper again? Remember, he held his chip shot at 15. Can he do it again here at 16? Pretty good shot.
Peter always chips from around the greens, backhanded, left hand below right.
Now David Park.
It's been a pretty long couple of days for the young Welshman. Nothing seemingly going right for him, but pretty good effort. He's hung in there well.
Wayne Smith, chance to get into double figures in the red, and does so. Gets it to 10 under. As Jack said, a pretty good effort, seeing he's got 2 7s on his card.
Now Andrew Coulthard. That'll be a bogey 5 for him at the 16th.
He can't buy a putt, can he?
No, he cannot. That's his first bogey of the day, though.
Yeah, the new venture with the cross-handed putting hasn't worked under the gun today. David Park just going to clean up now for his par. .68, 65, 73 yesterday, and he's 1 over for the round as Peter Senior cleans up for his par at 15. 16, excuse me.
And Lucas Parsons. This for par to remain at 18 under. No problems for our leader, so he heads to the 15th, just 4 to play. Probably an opportune time, Jack, for us to see what lies in store for him.
Yeah, one of the real sleepers on the Lakes layout. You don't hear much said about it, but I rate this a very difficult hole to get 3 on, and traditionally the crosswind makes that more difficult. The players will be told by their caddies 177 to the front, and the pin here at 15, I can tell you, on 23. So, but really, you've got to put the ball with your tee shot in the front third of the green, very firm green that rolls from right to left as the players see it. And anything pitching the middle of the green or near the flag will go too far. So Lucas must err short rather than long.
.198.5 on. It's going little left, but the breeze is catching it now. And it's good lead. Watch it run down. Good shot. Very smart play.
Well, that's all he needs to do, and he knows it. Get it on the greens, 2-putt for pars.
I reckon that shot just about won in the tournament, Ian, because this hole is very easy to take 4 or 5, and Pete Senior seemingly the only one that can beat him now, playing 17 the par 5. So a good tee shot there from Lucas. I think if we put things in perspective, Lucas Parsons is 5 under par, leading the tournament with this man starting the day, and on a day when conditions haven't been conducive to good scoring. Only the early players have managed to break 70, and less pressure on them, of course. So it's been a fantastic effort by Lucas Parsons, and I'm very pleased for him because he's always had the talent, and he's won a lot of, shall we say, lesser tournaments. Great to see him look like winning this.
As David Park plays his tee shot, I've got to say, Jack, that I think it's because of Robert Allenby's success and Michael Campbell's success. All 3 of the players are good friends and sort of dragging each other along. You know, Lucas feels like, well, if Robert and Michael can do it, I can do it too.
And here's a young man, Sandy, I think we're all going to hear a lot of in the future, Adam Scott. Tee shot at 18.
He's had a bit of a struggle today, but he's 3 under for the championship, 6 over for the day. And the players are running out of holes here. If they're going to catch Lucas, they may have to rely on him faltering. At the moment, he doesn't look like it. Here's our leader, Lucas Parsons. He's playing 15. We saw his tee shot to this par 3. This putt for a 2. And a chance to stretch his lead, but he's away to the left. Should be a rock-solid par, the way he's got rid of those in the past.
Now here's someone we haven't seen for a little while, Craig Parry. I thought he'd do a little better today. He's 1 over par on his round. This a birdie putt at 17, come out of the greenside bunker. And for Craig Parry, just hasn't had anything going. He birdied the 8th, but he's been 2 over since then. As I said, 1 over on his round. Just 9 under for the championship, in 11th position.
David Park from the other side of the hole to Lucas Parsons, down and across the slope for a 2 at 15. Rock solid par, but I'm certain he'd like to see a couple of birdies over these concluding holes. What a great week for that young man. 63 he shot on Friday.
Now this is Per-Erik Johansson. He's in 3rd position. He's 12 under. He's got this to go 13 under. And every little jump up the ladder counts at this time of the weekend. Every dollar earned early in the season counts at the end when the whips are cracking for certain positions, invitations to tournaments, perhaps leading the money list. Birdie for him at 16 and 17.
And now Lucas to finish off. So Johansson goes into outright third. And Lucas just keeps rolling them in. As we move ahead to 17. Isn't it a wonderful view? Peter Senior about to play his second.
Looks to have hung it to the right. And he's putting himself in some of these holes with awkward stances. He's going to have problems there getting a stance for the bunker there as well.
I think he'd probably like to produce something like he produced yesterday, Jack. Remember this?
Yeah, well, this was a fantastic shot at 17, which he shaped from right to left today.
Well, that's even better. That is perfect.
Got a much softer bounce. That one landed into the front of the green.
Great shot. And now we're back with our leader, Lucas Parsons. That's what he has in front of him.
It's not a daunting shot. It's just going back into the breeze a little, just to 3 wood. Down the centre of the fairway, somewhere between the 2 bunkers. Oh, and over there exactly where Peter Senior was. And there's so much room to the right there. It always amazes me that they do go further to the left. It just seems to draw you over there, that hole. And when you get up there, there's about 80 yards of fairway grass over to the right side there.
Keep it quiet back there, please, in the trees.
Breeze today, though, pushing their golf balls towards that left-hand bunker. Breeze coming from about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Also starting up the left. But it's in the short grass, and that's where you really need to be if you're going to attack on this hole. It's a tough par 4 into the breeze.
You get the feeling you can see the finish line, don't you? Big Lucas. Been a battle for him over the past few years. Maybe he's going the way of his good friend Michael Campbell, who's turned the corner in the game of golf. Here we are with Peter Senior, currently holding down outright second spot, playing his 3rd to 17th. You heard someone say get in the hole. That's really what he needs. Still played a very good shot.
Well, he would have been feeling pretty confident there, Sandy. It was the same sort of shot that he holed at 15, just a little flop shot with the lob wedge.
16th hole now, and Lucas Parsons, who's over there very near that trap on the left. Got round about 170 metres to the front.
A few groans.
They don't like it, do they? And that's why he's way right of the bunkers and the green.
At the 18th, Per Ulrik Johansson, who's 13 under. He's parred this hole every day he's played it. He's putting in a strong finish. He's had 4 birdies since the 11th. And on 13 under par, he's looking for a big check and the chance to move to 14 under.
Now this is Andrew Coulthard playing alongside Pete Senior from the right-hand front corner of 17, down the hill very quick. Coulthard, a member of the winning Scottish team at the '95 Dunhill Cup.
to David Park. Body language trying to bend it a little. But, it's a very good shot. Doesn't have to bend it too far.
He's played a lot of good shots as David Park. He isn't going to win here this week, but he's going to get a useful check early in the season.
This is a big putt for Pete Senior. This is for birdie at 17 to take him to 16 under and really put the pressure on Lucas.
Which it does. And let's remember, Lucas is in a spot to bother himself, gentlemen. So this is not over yet.
Coulthard for birdie. Finally makes one. Gives himself a little clap.
Craig Parry trying to extricate himself from the sand at 18. And he's played a good one.
Is there a better Sandman, Jack?
Not too many. Not too many with better short games than this fella, but hasn't been on song today, particularly with the putter.
Well, that was a moment ago now for Ulrich Johansson. This for a 2, this to finish birdie, birdie, birdie.
4 days you've waited for that, and finally it's arrived.
With only 50 minutes to go before the end of the telecast. But this to move to 14 under. This for a round today of 68. Most of these European players moving on now to the Benson and Hedges international event in Malaysia. 1 or 2 perhaps going down to Huntingdale and the Australian Masters, the Ericsson Masters. Sergio Garcia playing in that next week, and he may be a late arrival with rain delaying play at the AT&T. He may not be in Melbourne before Wednesday morning. Johansson for 2. Well, somebody had the money on Ulrich. He finishes with a 3. With a good round today. If you're in the 60s today, you've played well. And that's 69. 71, 68, 71, 69 for 13 under par.
Senior has got it to 16 under. Let's remember that as we rejoin Lucas Parsons.
Beautiful shot.
He keeps on answering the challenge.
I think one of the saving graces there, he was back into the breeze, but more importantly, he missed the green so far right that it was a fuller swing, and he was able to get good spin on it.
Craig Parry for par at the last hole. And a disappointing day for Craig Parry. It's 74 for him for 9 under.
Well, he's experienced victory coming off that green in the past here at the Lakes. Not to be this time. Craig Parry outside the top 10. This year lying joint 12th.
This man's certainly not out of it. He's in outright second spot, 16 under par.
He's just about got to make 2, Ian, hasn't he?
Yep. Exactly right. He's thinking about it. If he's really going to apply the pressure, he's got to go for it. About a 4 iron.
Well, he hasn't wasted time, Ian. He's gone 5 iron. Not as much breeze as we've seen here the last couple of days. This one's starting left and continuing to go left. It's got to hang on.
I think he would have been better with a 4. Still, you never know, he might just hole out of the bunker.
Stranger things have happened, but he doesn't want to finish like he had here yesterday. He dropped a shot as we go back to David Park.
Just to join the group on 13 under par, Coulthard and Johansson. But he's learning all the time. Remember, he hasn't been on the main European tour for a full year yet.
Now we're back at the 18th tee. Andrew Coltart.
Yes, well, he's decided to go with 4-iron, man. I think your call was right from the outset. And this one looks very good now, doesn't it?
Well, it's a lot easier from up here, Pat, isn't it?
A lot easier from where I am, too. I'm not swinging it.
Very good shot there from the Scotsman.
Lucas Parsons just keeps on. It's almost becoming a little repetitious, isn't it? The way he finds the back of the cup. He continues to lead. He leads by 2 from Peter Senior. 2 Australians looking to complete the Quinella here at the Lakes, ahead of a star-studded international field. We'll take a break. I hope you can stay with us for the thrilling finish here at the Lakes. In the sand, Peter Senior playing 18, second shot.
Needs to make it.
Well, they can't finish any better than 16 under. On the tee at 17, Parsons. And for safety, doesn't want to run into the water.
And this is a very easy hole to par, Renton. It's if you want to play conservatively, there's a ton of room off the tee. Don't have to hit a long shot to lay up.
Coltart to go to 14 under. Playing with Senior. That putter hasn't been at all kind to him today. He's going to finish a couple under for the day. That's a round of 71. He finishes 13 under.
Now Pete Senior has to make this. I know it's about 15 foot. He 3-putted on this green yesterday. Has to put those thoughts out of his mind, though. Very quick, you can see. He actually expected the bunker shot to spin back.
So for the second day running, Peter Senior finishes with a bogey 4.
Still a great week for him, isn't it? Started with a 67, finished with a 69, 15 under par.
I've got to say, Sandy, that the scoring the last 2 weeks, 20 under par around Divines, it's just not a 20 under par golf course, and Peter Senior would normally win here with 15 under par. That's a great score, but he's not, because Lucas is tearing it up. Terrific scoring.
David Park off the tee at 17. We've got Senior in the clubhouse at 15 under par. We've got Johansson and Coltart at 13 under. Park is 12 under.
So the 17th, the penultimate hole here at the Lakes. Jack, one final look at it.
Yeah, well, it's a hole, as Ian said, you've got to just keep the ball in play from the tee, so that knocking a 2-iron down here and then across the water with your second, not in play. These bunkers down the left you want to avoid, so I think a smart play for Lucas now would be to try and put his second shot perhaps in the right-hand bunker, or, as Ian said, he can lay up with a 6 or a 7-iron and just hit a wedge for his third. Heroics not required now. He just needs to get in the clubhouse without any major disasters and take the first prize. In today at 17, 8 metres on and 7 from the left. That's why I think he might try and go long, but he's not. He's taking quite a lofted club for his second.
Yeah, 6-iron, Jack. Good layup. Going a little right on the breeze now. Just has to get down other people. Yeah, that's fine.
It'll be a good check, too, for his caddy, Mark Williams, who's already caddied for a winner here at the Lakes. Roger Mackay. He's on Roger Mackay's bag, and Mackay won here.
That was the Australian PGA, Renton, 1987.
Magic sight from our high camera. This, of course, was once upon a time Sydney's secondary water supply. Not sure that it's, perhaps still isn't, but famous golf course. and probably in some ways a bit of a tragedy. The highway to the airport went through it, because the old golf course, in my opinion, in the top 5 courses I've ever played. But this is not real bad either. David Park. Well, you'd like to see this young fella perhaps get a birdie or an eagle, because he's hung in there pretty well after being co-leader overnight on a day when things have not gone right for him.
Still right in the thick of it though, Jack. We can make a birdie here. This is 4-iron, going a little right in the breeze, but he can get it home easy. Just getting on the green and turning to the left now. Pretty good result from there.
Well, he dropped 2 shots early on, did Park. He's had only 1 birdie, but all the rest pars. That ball still moving, edging down towards the pin. That for 3, 2 putts for a birdie.
218. Wayne Smith, this hole has been very good to him in the opening 3 rounds. He's playing it at 3 under.
Gee, it's been a very good round from Wayne Smith. He's took 7 at the 3rd, 3 over par on 1 hole, and then he took 7 on 11 at the par 5. So he's dropped 5 shots in 2 holes, and he's even par for the round.
Chance to get it to 12 under too with that putt to come.
Jose Maria now, final hole.
Birdied 17, so now 2 over for the day. Everybody hoping that among the Europeans anyway, that he would come good on Sunday after that 66 yesterday, but golf's a funny game and it didn't work for him today.
Lucas Parsons began with birdies on the opening 2 holes, and he said, right boys, this is what I'm about. I want this title, and he's just about got it. He's playing 17 and he leads by 3. We'll be back to see if he can do it in just a moment. This is our leader, playing his 3rd shot now to the par 5 17. He's a leader by 3. Senior is back in the clubhouse at 15 under.
Well, safely on the putting surface, but a few anxious moments there. I think Lucas might have had a few heart flutters with that ball heading towards the bunker.
Now, Malafapao, can he do a little grandstander for us on the last?
Yes.
Well, he turned 34 yesterday, and perhaps that was a little belated birthday present for him, but disappointing. 74, 1 over par.
Usually popular though with the fans, and he'll be back again, I'm sure, to play in this event. He's a great friend of Greg Norman. Gave Greg Norman considerable support when he was trying for the World Tour. This is David Park.
This for an eagle 3, and this will make his bank manager much more friendly, I reckon, if he knocks this in. It'll get him into the red figures today. 13 or 14 under for the tournament. And that would be a nice little elevation up the leaderboard for him.
And a birdie at the last he'd catch Senior. He's got to hold this first though, Jack.
Yeah, very slick down the slope. A little bit slower than what the players think it is. Seen a couple of players come up short from there. Obviously looks quicker than it is.
218, Wayne Smith. Hoping to finish off. Wouldn't it be nice if he could do it with a 2? He's done it every day this week so far. So close today too. But a good week for Wayne. He's going to finish at 11 under par, a round of 73, and as Jack said, when you chuck in a couple of 7s, that's a very good effort by the West Australian.
Yes, 2 pars on those 2 holes where he had the 7s, and he'd be 16 under in 2nd place, just 2 out of the lead. So played well, but for 2 holes.
Lucas Parsons for a birdie 4 at 17. It's a nice feeling, though, to know that we've got such a nice, handy lead.
Yes, simple tap in for Lucas. He remains 5 under for the day. And we go to David Park. Joins Johansson and Coulthard at 13 under. So they head to the 18th. Very interesting finish, Ian. A par 3. Let's have a look at it.
It's a good par 3 too. It's been a real struggle to play this hole over the years. When the wind gets up, it's only 178 metres and a huge green at the end of the fairway. But everyone seems to struggle. With the wind out of the south, about 10 or 15 kilometres an hour currently, it's just not quite as tough as it can get. Doesn't bared its full teeth so far. Hole location today, 17 metres on and 11 from the right. Pretty much the centre of the green, really. But when it really counts and you need a par to win up here, it's hard to come by. There you go, only 6 birdies. Just saw one of those from Jose Maria Olazabal. 54 pars, 17 bogeys, one other, averaging 3.2. As I said, when the wind gets up, it can really be a bear, this hole.
There's a real buzz around this 72nd hole happening at the moment. There's Michael Campbell. Not his week this week. He missed the cut, but his good mate looks set to break through for a huge win. There he is with Wayne Smith. Wayne just completing official duties, as you must.
I think it'd be fair to say, Sandy, that Lucas Parsons has enormous talent. And in my opinion, he went to America a little early and lost his card, got his backside well and truly kicked in over there, and then, of course, had nowhere to play. And he's been in the golfing doldrums, so to speak. Had to go back to the Challenge Tour in Europe. And maybe that's done him some good, but he certainly looks a much more polished, complete player today under the gun. And I think it's great for him. Perhaps this might be the start of, well, a revitalised career for Lucas Parsons, who was a very talented amateur. And I think the other thing that we should say, he's been through a broken marriage, and he's pulled off a lot of weight. He was carrying quite a few excess kilos, but he's got himself in good shape, and his game's in good shape.
Yes, he really was going to come onto the tour with a huge credential. He had a rare double in winning the New Zealand amateur title and the Australian amateur title back in 1991. And as I said before, he and Robert Allenby and Michael Campbell were going to be the 3 new superstars of that second half of the 90s. And I agree wholeheartedly with you, Jack, along with other players that have done the same thing. Lucas, I think, went to the States perhaps just a little soon and just lost the confidence that he'd built up through a brilliant amateur career.
Well, David Park here needs a birdie at the last to move into 3rd place on his own. One more good swing, one more good result. One more putt and he could be 3rd on his own. And well, if it had just been another couple of feet, it might have run onto the green and then down towards the pin.
What a wonderful view that is of 18, and the galleries lining this par 3 from the tee to the green in anticipation of saluting a new champion.
He's made 585,000 Australian dollars in his whole career, and today he can win $360,000, heading towards that $1 million mark.
You can buy some French champagne with that.
What's there something wrong with Hunter Valley champagne?
I wondered how long it would take Jack to come in there. This is Parsons' final tee shot.
One last shot, 4 iron from 174, going a little right on the breeze. Has to hurry to go to the track, but I think it's going to be good. Yeah, great shot.
What a way to finish for Lucas Parsons. He hasn't put a foot wrong today. He's remained cool.
And let's just let him enjoy this stroll down the 72nd hole. While he does that, I'm sure Michael Campbell will be wrapped for his good mate, Paddy.
Sandy, he is, and just talking to him, he's almost as nervous as his good mate out there. You didn't want any part of this. I know I've talked I've talked you into this, but
Doing you a favour, Paddy, here.
I know, but you're very proud of him and you're very pleased for him, aren't you?
Obviously, he's been through a very hard time the last 3 or 4 years. He missed out on his US tour car back in '96 and all that. And it was great to see. I mean, he deserved it. He's very, very talented. He's worked hard in this game, and mentally and physically, I think he's he's going to bigger and brighter things.
He paid tribute to you before he teed off today that you two had a chat last night just to settle him down and get him ready for this.
Well, all I said, Paddy, was just have fun, enjoy yourself. That's what I said, and I think, I mean, obviously I have some sort of influence on his performance in a very, very minuscule way, but it was Lucas who played great in the last 4 days. Especially today, he played great the first 9 holes. That's the sign of a champion when you played 9 holes 4 under.
You guys spend spend your time touring the world, and I mean, just to see something like this for a good mate, it must be great for you.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, I'm very, very emotional right now because, I've seen his hardship. I've seen the way he's been up and down through the turmoil emotionally and all that, and it's great to see him, winning this tournament.
All right, we'll let him enjoy the moment. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Paddy.
And it is a moment he'll remember, Jack, for a long, long time.
Well, it doesn't matter who you are, Sandy, when you walk up to the 72nd hole and you get that applause, you wouldn't be a human being if it didn't make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. And you'd agree with that, I'm sure, Ian. But,
yes, definitely, Jack. Brings a tear to your eye. It's a sort of a very emotional time, that, when especially breaking through. I remember when I first won the Australian Masters, that same sort of feeling, breaking through to a big win. Boy, it was a great feeling.
1988.
Yep.
We remember it well, Ian.
I think it's important from Lucas's point of view now that having done what he's done and gone to the next step in winning a significant event on the Australasian Tour, well, it's a joint co-sanctioned event, of course, with Europe. And of course, now it's going to give him a couple of years exemptions on the European Tour. I think it's important for him not to put the cue in the rack having won this and really take something from it and go on to bigger and better things.
Let's go to David Park now, because this man too has held it together remarkably well. 25-year-old from Wales. I think a lot of people at the start of the week were saying David who. I'm sure many will remember him, and he'll be back. Could he finish with a 2? Certainly wasn't going to be short.
Oh, it's very quick, that green, coming from the edges. That's what the players seem to find so difficult here. Hard to get their first one up close and keep it stone dead.
Bogey-free round for Lucas Parsons today, and on a course like this, under the gun in the final group, it's a fantastic effort. 5 birdies, no bogeys.
Sometimes when they don't count, these are the ones that just go in.
This is for a 67. Ha-ha, yes! There's our new champion. Lucas Parsons. Made a grandstand start today and has made a grandstand finish.
Sensational stuff. Great moment for him. Great moment there for Mark Williams, his caddy too. I'm sure he's just as delighted for his big buddy. Certainly one of the crowd favourites, Lucas Parsons, and one of the players' favourites too.
Well, he's now 1 by 4 from Peter Senior. Johansson and Coulthard and this man, David Park, all at 13 under. The other two, of course, in the clubhouse. So a big putt here for this young Welshman. This for a share of equal third place. Ooh, that was an expensive miss. Now he'll run 5th on his own.
Still a very healthy check for the young man from Wales, Ian.
Yes, outright 5th is 80,000 Australian dollars. That was about a $30,000 putt, unfortunately, and they all count, as I said before. They're out there to win the championships, but at the end of the year, on the money lists and bonuses into tournaments and exemptions, etc., it all counts at the end.
We've got to say well played, though, to David Park. The final round is 74. But there's the man of the moment. A flood of relief for Lucas Parsons. Yes, he's broken through for the big one. A big victory in Australia. And Pat is there with him right now. Pat?
Thanks, Andy. Emotional, I would imagine.
Very emotional. It's hard work. It's hard work. Very emotional, Pat.
Standing with one of your great mates, Michael Campbell, who had a chat to, he was nervous for you, even though he wasn't playing today. He was pretty emotional for you. It means a lot, of this big-time victory.
Yeah, Cambo's been wonders. I mean, I've got so many people to thank. I'll get my cards first, mate.
Okay, mate. Congratulations.
Well, that's what we were talking about, Jack, that emotion of finally breaking through, and it means so much to him, obviously. You can tell that.
Yeah, well, when you've been through what he's been through, it's not hard to realise that it is an emotional moment for Lucas Parsons. I think that demonstrates the camaraderie amongst the golfers out here. Michael Campbell genuinely moved by Lucas Parsons' victory.
Yeah, great to see. Great victory from Lucas Parsons. Sensational stuff. 19 under par around the lakes in windy conditions. And what a way to finish, Jack, with a birdie two at the last.
Yeah, it's always tasty when you do that, isn't it? Rather than take a bogey, it just finishes the whole thing off. There it is. Lucas Parsons wins by 4 from Peter Senior. Johansson and Coulthard tied for 3rd. David Park, a good performance from the 25-year-old Welshman. Wayne Smith, a terrific round today, given that he made a couple of 7s. We'll be back at the Lakes in just a short moment for the presentation.
Day for Lucas Parsons, making that big breakthrough, Jack, and making it with a new record score for this event at the Lakes, because 18 under was the previous best by Curtis Strange back in '93.
Yeah, it was very good scoring, because we shouldn't forget that it was pretty windy here over the first 3 days from the north, and I thought conditions particularly difficult. And as I said in the commentary, I think the scoring the last 2 weeks in these joint sanction events with the European Tour, the Vines last week and again here at the Lakes, the scoring very hot.
Well, I tell you, let's just have a look at all the scores. Lucas Parsons winning with 19 under by 4 from Senior. Johansson, Coulthard, David Park there at 12 under par. A costly little miss at the last for him. And a good mix of European and Australian players at the top of the leaderboard, Jack.
Yeah, Scott Gardner there, the leading amateur, fantastic effort, 10 under par. Olafable a little bit disappointing, I think. Most of us thought he'd be the one to beat today, but it didn't happen.
There's Aaron Baddeley. He finished 7 under par. Adam Scott finished at 4 under par. There's Bernard Langer. He came close to winning this last year. Not so good this year. It's 6 under par. John Daly there, 3 under par. Heading down to Melbourne next week for the Ericsson Australian Masters. Very international indeed. Spaniards and Americans and Germans and Swedes. English, Scots. Great event, the Greg Norman Holden International. And although Greg didn't manage to make the halfway cut on this occasion, he certainly must be very proud of the competition this week. Well, Sven Struve there just at the very end, he did not have a good day. We'll be going to the presentation very shortly with Sandy, but for the moment, we'll take a break.
Would you welcome him to the 18th green? Well done, Lucas. Behind him is Peter Senior. A great performance by Peter on the comeback trail. And our leading amateur is a young man by the name of Scott Gardner. He too is a very, very exciting young prospect. And ladies and gentlemen, as they make their way to centre stage, I know you will make welcome our host for the week, Greg Norman.
Sandy, thank you very much. And on behalf of Holden and Ross McKenzie, to all our supporting sponsors, I want to thank you very much for a fabulous week. I also want to thank the spectators who came out as usual in droves here in Sydney. I want to thank you under the hot conditions and then the conditions today. It's a great feeling here at the Lakes Golf Club. To all the volunteers, I want to thank you for your hard work, your diligent work, the time and effort that you've But most of all, I want to thank Holden for their involvement. They've been a long-time supporters and friends of myself and golf in Australia, and to Ross, to you and your company for that support. We appreciate it very, very much, and we hope it continues on for many years to come. And what can I say about Lucas? Lucas, congratulations, buddy. I think all of us who play this game not only as an amateur, but as a living as professionals, we all go through our ups and downs and our peaks and valleys, and we know you've been through a few hard times, and it's great to see you up here. I don't think there's anybody here who begrudges your victory, even Peter Senior sitting to your hard left, but we congratulate you, and I'm proud of you, and I hope this is a stepping stone for you to go on and realize your true potential and go from here. And so congratulations to you and to Peter and to everybody who played. It's been a tremendously successful tournament, and I've enjoyed it, and let everybody else do. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. Thank you, Greg. Greg mentioned Holden, who have been absolutely fantastic, and let's now hear from their Executive Director of Sales and Marketing. Please make him welcome, Ross McKenzie. Thanks, Sandy, and thanks, Greg. Holden is proud to again bring you the Greg Norman Holden International. The Association of Holden, Australia's #1 car company, and Greg Norman, Australia's #1 golfer, is a winning association. And the association of Holden products with so many Australians who follow and enjoy golf is undeniable. There's one characteristic that really typifies Holden cars, that's performance. And that's what we've seen plenty of from all of the golfers here over the past 4 days. On behalf of Holden, I want to thank Greg Norman for his continued patronage of the Greg Norman Holden International, and I congratulate all the players, but in particular, our winner today, Lucas Parsons. Thank you. And Ross, I'll ask you now to present the winner's cheque, and I'm sure you'll welcome him once again, ladies and gentlemen. Lucas Parsons, a final round of 67 today, 19 under par. He is our new Greg Norman Holden International Champion. Lucas, on behalf of Holden, it's our pleasure, my pleasure, to present Holden's cheque for $360,000.
Wow, what do I say? First of all, this is a very special event to me. A, the European Tour, and B, to win Greg Norman's tournament. He's been a huge inspiration to me in my lifetime, and it's a huge privilege to win this golf tournament, Greg. Thank you very much for yourself and Holden for putting it on. Australian PGA Tour, European Tour. I'm a little bit speechless, but I suppose we all say that sometimes. Also, Barry Bent, who's been beside me the last 5 years, 6 years with my golf game. Thank you so much, Barry. Obviously my mother and family, my roomies, Trudes. Thank you so much for your support. Pete, see you up there, big guy. And least but not last, Mark. Mark's followed me this week, and he gave me a lot of support, and it was very good. Obviously, Cambo as well. Cambo has stuck by me the last 5 years, and he's had a lot to do with this win as well. Pete, well played. Scotty Gardner, good stuff. Thanks a lot. And everyone out there, huge to win in my hometown. Thank you so much.
Just before you go, Lucas, I mean, it's fair to say that the last couple of years haven't been that flash. I mean, has there been any one thing that's turned around? Have you just put your head down and worked your guts out? What's it been?
Well, I've certainly changed a few things. Certainly worked harder. Certainly lost a bit of weight, changed environment. You know, I had some really good influences in my life.
And today, when did you think, my hat, I think this is going to be mine. I'm going to win the Greg Norman?
I don't know. I just kept bringing myself back. Basically, when I hit it on the 18th, I knew it was mine.
And now a number of new doors are going to open with exemptions to the European Tour?
For sure. Well, I'm in Europe now, which is sensational. I really enjoyed the European Tour last year. I had an absolute ball. So I'm really looking forward to being part of that. And, you know, hopefully bigger things. I'm just a bit speechless, but...
You don't have to say any more.
Yeah.
We're glad you won. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our champion, Lucas Parsons.
Cheers.
Happy scenes round the 18th there and justifiable. Now, where can he go from here, Jack?
Well, I think the important issue is, like you just mentioned, then he gets a couple of years exemptions in Europe. And I think the important issue for Lucas now is to realise that he can play at the highest level and grab this opportunity with both hands. And surely, from where he's come from, I think he will.
Well, he goes off now to Melbourne. The Channel 7 Summer of Golf continues at Huntingdale with the Ericsson Australian Masters. This was the putt he held for a 2 at the last for a round of 67, which was jointly the best round of the day. He goes off and who knows, he might be winning a gold jacket next week.
Well, he very well could. He's done well in the Masters before. I think from memory he's run certainly third. I remember he played a very good last round. But for Lucas Parsons, as Greg Norman said, one of the good guys on the tour, and nice to see that sometimes the good guys come good.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the Greg Norman Holden International. More good golf coming up at Huntingdale next week in the Ericsson Australian Masters. Sergio Garcia will be arriving. John Daly's there, and of course Greg Norman. And the winner here this week, Lucas Parsons. From all the team here at the Lakes, goodbye.